So we don't have a lot of time to mess around, Stefan. So you just got to make it just. I'm not going to sit here and get into the back and forth with not so Mr. Wonderful, right?
Considered by many the most famous and, as we see, the most convincing shark, Mark Cuban's pattern of success can be seen in Shark Tank as well. Today, we are going to take a look at the most significant achievements Mark Cuban managed to accomplish in Shark Tank.
Hi, I'm Shauna.
And I'm Kurt.
We're from Oklahoma, and our company is Game Day Couture. We are seeking $500,000 for a 20% equity stake in our company.
Shauna and Kurt had their final in Shark Tank when they came to try to get their deal for their sports fans clothing company that they valued at $2.5 million.
We take what's trending in the fashion world and bring it to the female sports fan market. High quality fabrics at competitive price points.
And Game Day gives women the opportunity to look comfortable yet stylish, or decked out from head to toe.
The Sharks liked the material, liked the idea, but they needed the numbers to take this business more seriously.
Tell me the average price point.
Average price point is $22. Wholesale, average retail is $44.
What does it cost for you to make it?
About $8.
The profit margins were good, but to make use of them, sales need to be good as well. Thus, Mr. Wonderful asked this.
How much money will you make this year?
About $100,000 on a 1.5
Okay, so it's not a lot. Why are you worth $2.5 million?
We're worth $2.5 million because we have put all the money back into acquiring additional licenses, seeking out the markets. So last year, when we did $750,000, that was basically shipped on just 10 schools.
Kevin didn't like that answer and thought the valuation of the company was blown out of proportion. He was out. Will the other Sharks agree with him, or will they see the value in the work that the pair did?
I have to be honest, I saw it being worth around $1 million for the risk, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you.
You're not disrespectful. It's understanding kind of where we're at within our industry. It is worth a whole lot more than we've even probably given it credit for. Because we've scratched the surface.
Damon and Robert were on the same page as Mr. Wonderful and got out because their valuations didn't play in the same league as the Federsons one. Mark wasn't hung up on the valuation. He looked forward and tried to learn more about the business.
We just launched online last year, retail, because we wanted to focus on our wholesale base and get that built first before we just branched into too many things.
But guys, most of your business should be online, right? Because I would think any alum, that's the only way they're going to get you.
Correct. And what some of our retailers
There's a huge
sell.
opportunity.
Mark had a vision already of how to make the business more successful, so he decided that he will be part of that winning squad as well.
I'm going to make you an offer.
Okay.
Okay? I'm going to offer you the $500K
Okay.
for 30%.
Okay.
Okay? But I have a caveat. But I'm not going to tell you what the caveat is, the contingency is, until you give me an answer. So you're going to have to trust me a little bit.
The pressure was on the couple, and Mark didn't stop there. The best decision, definitely, but we all want to know that condition now. What could it be?
My wife kills me every single year saying the Mavs have horrible clothing for women.
I've already got it designed.
Deal.
Right. Wow.
If I didn't do a deal with you guys, my wife would have shot me.
Mark should thank his wife then, since she is the reason that he made a huge success with this deal. Alone in 2018, the company made around $12 million profit. Now, that's what we call a great deal. But how does Game Day Couture compare to Mark's other successes?
Hi, Sharks. I'm Neil Cameron.
I'm Peter Ferreira.
I'm Dennis Leonardi, and we're
Nuts and More.
We are seeking $250,000 for a 20% equity stake in our company.
This trio might even scare the Sharks away. The trio came in asking for $250,000, but for what exactly?
Nuts and More are fortified butters with added protein, added omegas. They're high in fiber with no sugar added.
Nuts and More was born this past year in a small corner of my family's bakery shop. We ground lots of nuts, mixed ingredients together, and filled jars by hand.
This product nowadays doesn't take any cake, but at the time having additional protein options was something new. As we see, these guys care a lot about their protein, but what about others?
So we've actually started selling about 5 months ago. We've been open a little less than a year. To date, we have $100,000 in sales.
Wow.
The valuation is where it is because we've been approached by the country's largest national distributor.
The Sharks seem to be somewhere in between investing and getting out, mostly because of the valuation of the company. The pumped-up trio had this to say regarding that.
See if you can convince me on the $1.3 million value.
1.250.
It's the brand.
The brand?
But who knows this brand today?
Our name is starting to become synonymous with the health nut butter.
Tell me about the reorders. Are you getting reorders?
We are getting every single week.
Okay.
Mark again looked past the valuation problem and asked questions that gave more perspective, but Damon couldn't do the same.
The issue here is your valuation is so crazy and you're working on assumptions. I'm a customer, but not an investor. I'm out.
Still, a very respectful and reasonable thing to do by Damon, but Kevin was acting nuts.
$250,000, I'd have to own the whole business, all your cars, all your houses.
Well, you can adjust the equity.
Okay, I need 264%. I'm out.
Kevin was definitely out. No cars will be included in this deal. That only left Robert and Mark, who showed a positive attitude towards the product from the start and decided to team up to give a realistic offer.
Robert, what's your feelings?
Look, I'm not in at 30. I'll go down to Mark's 35.
35?
35.
You guys got a deal.
Got it.
The offer was good, and they would have been nuts if they refused it, but they believed in their product and were comfortable with this offer. That paid off for Mark and Robert, since the company has over $50 million in sales so far, and they don't plan on stopping anytime soon. The same can be said for our next entry.
My name is Stefan Arstal. My company is Tower Paddleboards. I'm seeking $150,000 in exchange for 10% of my company.
No high sharks? Well, this is definitely a different approach from the ones we usually see on Shark Tank, but will it be the right one?
Stand-up paddleboarding is absolutely exploding. It's coming to every beach, every river, and every lake in the world. It's got the cool, soulful appeal of surfing, yet it's so easy to do that all of you can do it.
It looks like the answer is no. Stefan had a moment of silence for some reason, and some sharks started to get restless because of this blunder.
My company is,
Don't worry, it's only your biggest moment in your life.
it's so easy. You can do it with your friends. You can do it with your child. You can even do it with your dog.
You probably can, but the Sharks will not do it at all if the pitch continues like this. After he composed himself and stopped repeating the same words over and over, Robert gave him a lifeline.
Paddleboard business is going boom. Some people on the panel may not understand all the cardio benefits of this. Would you mind if your lovely assistant demonstrates exactly how this works? Where do you stand? How does the paddle work, if you don't mind?
You paddle like this, and there's a health benefit to this.
There is a health benefit to not being so awkward as well. Probably after everything was said and done, things started looking more normal. But still, it was too much for some of the Sharks.
I'm an internet marketing expert with about 12 years in experience.
Well, then you know that answer is crap. You know it costs you something to get a customer to come to your site.
You would be shocked. You would
I'm
be
going
shocked.
to be if you tell me it's zero, because I don't believe you.
After some back and forward, Stephen got back on his feet, telling the Sharks that there are some benefits in investing in him and his company, mostly being that he is a one-of-a-kind marketing expert. The Sharks had this to say.
You really think that none of us up here have guys like I do too?
There's nothing that I can't do myself. I don't need you.
Time out. I can't hear another word.
Okay.
You're probably the worst presenter I've ever met.
No, come on. Just because you don't get it doesn't mean he's a bad presenter.
Come on.
Mark defended Stefan from Barbara since she was being unusually rude towards him.
You know what I think you should do? I think you should stick with being a nerd. I'm out.
Don't listen to a word she said.
Not the best presenter, maybe one of the worst, but still, we all make mistakes and deserve second chances. That is exactly what Mark did for Stefan when almost all the sharks gave up.
So I'm willing to give you $150,000 for 30% of the company. But the contingency is that any future companies that you go into, I get the first right of refusal so that I don't build this for you and then you take the money and run.
Okay.
Mark's offer was reasonable, but Mr. Wonderful was still in the game and wanted a piece of the pie. Will Stefan paddle his way out of this shark attack?
No, I get it too, but I'm willing to go to 25%. Same deal, 25%.
So we don't have a lot of time to mess around, Stefan. So you just got to make it just. I'm not going to sit here and get into the back and forth with not so Mr. Wonderful, right?
Eventually, Stefan chose Mark's offer because he thought that Mark got his ideas and appreciated him more as a person, while Kevin just wanted to have a money machine and not a partner.
That was a rough start, right?
Did you see that coming?
I didn't see that coming.
That's a generous offer.
But you know what?
You didn't see it coming because that's the way I played it.
You know, you bought his brain.
I'm a business builder. I take small things and make them great things.
A rough start indeed, but somehow he still made something happen, and Mark was definitely right. He is a business builder, since he managed to build up Tower Paddleboard into a $100 million company. If you like seeing the sharks make regular people millionaires, click to see some of the most profitable deals ever made in Shark Tank's history.